channel. If you're new here, I'm Alex, and this is my channel Frank Fiction, where I talk about pretty much anything I want related to books and the book publishing industry. Today I'm going to be doing something that I didn't ever really think I was going to be doing, which is the Booktube Newbie Tag. I have been doing Booktube now since I think it was the end of December of 2022, so I feel like I'm a little behind on the ball of kind of formally introducing myself and saying why exactly it was that I decided to start this channel. I think I kind of touched on it in my first video, but I've never really done a true Q&A. So with that, I have put some questions and some answers together, and if you are at all interested in learning more about me, please feel free to post your questions down in the comments. The first question that I have is, who inspired you to start your own Booktube channel? Now, the person that I've been following for the longest amount of time is probably Kayla from Books and Lala. I also watch her channel more than any other Booktube channel. I would definitely say that there is a large gap between her level of editing and graphic design and my level of editing and graphic design, but you know, it just means that I have a lot to learn, and I love watching her videos. I love the way that she films everything and her energy, so I'm hoping to bring that kind of positivity to Booktube as well. The next question that I have is, what are some fun and unique things that you can bring to Booktube? I think I say it best in my intro when I say that my channel is me talking about books and the book publishing industry. I don't want my channel to only be about the books that I'm currently reading or that I'm thinking about reading or me hauling books. I want to also talk about the things that are shaking up the book publishing industry. News like this video that I made about the author who faked her own death. And I have another one that I'm hoping to come out with here soon about a new publisher that is thinking about entering the market and how that could potentially change the way that people promote certain kinds of books. Up next, I have, what are you most excited about with this new channel? I would say, for starters, to have an additional creative outlet that deals with books than what I already had. So I have been running a book review blog since December of 2014. That's quite a long time to be posting book reviews about like every single book that I've read. I didn't feel like it was quite enough. I wasn't getting the level of engagement on my blog that I felt like I might be able to get with creating videos, because I feel like there's something very personal about coming on here and kind of being able to express in my own voice and with my own inflection my thoughts and feelings about a book. And I also just love the visual element. I also like the fact that I'm learning new skills. I never really thought video editing or trying to learn about graphic design or even how to frame a shot was going to be something that I could learn or grow in or be any good at. But every single time that I make a video, I have learned something new, and I think that that's a really incredible thing, and that makes me feel like I'm growing in my experiences as a person. And lastly, of course, I'm hoping to meet you all, the bookish people out there on the internet that are trying to find people like me to talk about books with. It can be kind of hard to put yourself out there and to try to meet people, especially when Booktube has been going on so long now that there's quite an insular community with regards to the large booktubers, but I enjoy reaching out to other individuals that are pretty new like myself. If you are a booktuber that you're looking for somebody to talk with or somebody to potentially create content with, I'm really open to that kind of thing. And so is Barker, my dog, who just opened the door. Hi, Bubby! Also, another thing about me, I have a dog named Barker. He is a Jack Russell Beagle mix, and he is extremely cute. Hi, Bubby. Oh, thank you. I don't feel like a lot of times we can meet people just off of the street that will have a full conversation with us about books either. Like, even when I go into a bookstore, I can find it difficult to have a conversation that goes deeper than somebody just saying that they like a book and saying like, oh, you should read this. On Booktube, this is really the opportunity to kind of pitch a book and why you feel like somebody should or shouldn't read it. For context, my background is in marketing, so that's what I went to school for, and having somebody give me that like really solid elevator pitch can really do it for me in terms of getting me from not interested in reading this book at all to I really want to pick that up right now. So if I can do that for other people, that's a really exciting prospect for me. Okay, I had to take a brief intermission because Barker was coming to get me to tell me that he wanted to go for a walk, and it's hot outside, so I might look a little different now. Okay, so the next question that I have is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? Mine are all more on the technical side of things. I want to know, what camera lens do you use? How do you light your shots? How do you pick what camera angle you're going to stand at in order to make your shot more visually interesting? And then I have, what challenges do you think will be the hardest to overcome starting your booktube channel? I think there's two main challenges. I think getting people to watch my videos most of the way through and getting them to be visually interesting enough where people want to stay and engage with them. That's number one, is like figuring out whatever that formula is. And then the second one is how to be unique or special in such a way that people gravitate towards my videos, because there are 52 million different booktube channels and there's more every day. Trying to be that person that people are like, okay, that's something new. That can be kind of hard, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. What books got you into reading? The first books that I can remember that I truly enjoyed are Dragon Rider by Cornelia Funke. Is it pronounced Funke? I have it actually right behind me. So it was this lovely book right here, and then the Charlie Bone series. The Charlie Bone series was the first series that I really read as a kid, and the funny thing is I was like aging out, I guess, of reading those books as they were being published, so I never truly finished the series. Like, the last one was published by the time I had like moved on to reading other things. So I've kind of had an idea for a video where maybe I should go back and read that series in its entirety and say how I feel about it. If that's something that you would be interested in seeing, please let me know down in the comments. Then I have, which author have you read the most? And that is without a doubt Stephen King. I have read 16 Stephen King novels. What kinds of books do you typically read? I would say I definitely gravitate towards the genres of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. I don't exclusively read those. I also occasionally will read like mysteries and thrillers or historical fiction. I don't typically read romance, but I'm considering delving into that here soon. One, because it's a very popular genre on Booktube. I would argue most people on Booktube are reading romance. So I kind of want to give it its fair shot because I've been so adamant against reading it for so long. What got me to having that feeling of wanting to try to read romance is I recently had a breakthrough with reading nonfiction. Now, my history with nonfiction is that I always hated it. When I was in school, nonfiction always put me to sleep. I despised reading textbooks, and so in my mind, like biographies, autobiographies, it didn't matter. All of it was going to end up sounding like my AP US History textbook. I fortunately have now had my eyes opened to the wonderful world of, nonfiction, because I recognize now that books are not all like that. I will be talking about those books that got me into nonfiction in my monthly wrap-up video, so looking forward to talking to you about those. But if I can find nonfiction that I genuinely enjoyed, I feel like there has to be a romance out there that I would also really enjoy that isn't just Jane Austen. This next question was posed by my boyfriend Keaton, and I thought it was an excellent question, which is, what are your favorite book tropes? I would definitely have to say that the three that come to mind the fastest are evil corporations like Weyland-Yutani from the Alien quadrilogy, found family narratives. I love like a really soft and squishy found family that just gives me all the good feelings, and humor in the form of satire. I don't know that satire is necessarily a trope as much as it is a genre, but for satire to be done really well, I think is a pretty unique and special thing, so I'm going to throw that in there anyway. And this last one is probably the biggest question, because I don't know whether I'm shooting myself in the foot by putting this in here, but that question is, what is your most controversial bookish opinion? This opinion in particular is not popular on Booktube and Book Talk just because I've seen so much of it that I know typically the kinds of books that people read. I hate to say it, I really don't like young adult fiction. My foray into young adult fiction has been very disappointing. I read a lot of it when I was younger, like, I don't know, 14, 15 years old. It really doesn't do anything for me. I much prefer adult fiction or occasionally reading a middle grade novel. It's somewhere in that in-between that I really I don't like. That said, I still pick up young adult novels occasionally just to give them a go to see if potentially that one is not going to be consistent of tropes that I really hate. I believe that I can find it. If I'm willing to give romance a shot, and I could give nonfiction a shot, I can continue to try to read YA until I find the thing that I'm like, you know what, this was great. But just know that if you came to my channel hoping to find somebody who's going to give you more young adult recommendations, this is not that place. I hope you enjoyed this time of getting to know me a little bit better. I know I certainly enjoyed it. If you have any additional questions, as I said at the beginning, please feel free to put those down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day or evening, that you all stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.